to the Governor's Interagency Advisory Council on Homelessness to Housing. This meeting has been publicly noticed in compliance with Nevada's open meeting law. Chair Tim Robb will call the meeting to order.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is 1:01 on August 21st, 2025. I'd like to call this meeting of the Nevada Interagency Advisory Council on Homelessness to Housing to order. Will the moderator please call the roll?
Yes. Chair Tim Robb.
I'm here.
Senator Dina Neal.
Here.
Assemblyman Max Carter. Deputy Director Emily Tesweed.
Here.
Administrator Robert Thompson.
Here.
Administrator Stephen Acroft.
Here.
Colonel Mary Devine.
Here.
Lieutenant Christopher Gurrell. Lieutenant Shatana Daniel. Sheriff Jerry Allen. Judge Mike Montero.
Good afternoon, I'm here.
Judge Bridget Robb. Dr. Katrina Grigsby Thedford.
Here.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, we have quorum.
Thank you so much. With that, we'll move into agenda item number 2, which is public comment. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this item until it has specifically been added to an agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. If you are making public comment via phone, please call 1-775-321-6111, meeting ID 525-220-583, followed by pound. We are now open for public comment. Does anybody on the phone wish to make public comment? Anybody on Teams wish to make public comment?
There is none.
Abigail, did we have anybody write in any public comment since the last meeting?
There is none.
Okay, we'll give it just a minute in case folks are dialing in. Has anybody joined us that wishes to make public comment? Hearing and seeing none, I think we're good to move on to agenda item number 3, discussion and possible action of the approval of the minutes from May 22nd, 2025, the meeting of the Interagency Advisory Council on Homelessness to Housing. Are there any changes or additions any of the members would like to make to those meeting minutes? Hearing and seeing none, would entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
And do we have a second?
I'll second. This is Director Devine.
Thank you so much. We have a motion by Judge Robb and a second by Director Devine. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. We are now moving into agenda item number 4, discussion and for possible action regarding the review of the housing applications for the Nevada Housing Division. Administrator Acroft.
Thank you, Chair Robb. I do not have that information handy. However, and I can't see who's all attending the meeting. I'm hoping that Tracy Charbonneau from the Housing Division is on, and if so, if she could provide an update, that would be wonderful.
I'm here, Steve. So this is Tracy Charbonneau from the Housing Division, and I actually have an update on the Supportive Housing Development Account, or SB Or
Ms.
is
Charbonneau,
green?
I apologize, but could you speak up? I can barely hear you.
Sure, hold on. Let me, I'm gonna go off and see if I can adjust. Is that better?
Much.
Better.
Okay, thank you. So I have an update for the supportive housing development account. And so Joanna asked me to provide you guys with an update kind of what we've been doing since she last spoke to you in May. And so what I really wanted to highlight was in July, we met with our consultants, Urban and CSH. Really did a really nice 2-day strategic planning session where we could focus on laying the groundwork and the foundations to really have a strong statewide needs assessment when it comes to permanent supportive housing, develop the statewide, training and capacity building programs, and look at our current permanent supportive housing inventory for just a few of the items that we were discussing them. And Joanna wanted me to make sure and mention that as we go forward with this, we're really going to be needing to share data and with other agencies so that we can get what we need to have a comprehensive assessment. And so at this point, we don't necessarily believe that there's going to need, any formal agreements, but just know that as our agency reaches out, we may be looking to you guys to provide that data from data sets that you already have. I think that's all I have unless you guys have specific questions.
Fantastic. Any questions from members of the council? Okay, hearing none. Thank you so much for all the work you guys continue to do on administrating this funding and all the work that you guys do every day. We appreciate it. I hope everybody enjoyed that was able to attend the 50th anniversary celebration last night in Las Vegas with a bill signing by the governor as well for the division. Great work, and love to see all the impacts you guys have in our communities. Thank you. Okay, with that, I think we can move into agenda item number 5, the Division of Social Services discussion on the DSS support at the Courtyard involving the social work staff and the SOAR program. Ms. Cantrelle, are you on the line?
I am.
Awesome. Take it away.
Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. I am Kelly Cantrelle. I am a deputy administrator over at DSS, the Division of Social Services. And I was asked to speak for a few minutes today about the Courtyard and kind of like our footprint there. And so recently, not too long ago, I think it might have been last year, time flies and goes very quickly. I had an opportunity to go and tour the Courtyard and interact with a lot of the staff there and even some of the folks who utilize the facility. To say that that facility is impressive would be an understatement. The support services. Did someone say anything? Okay. The support services that are being provided to homeless individuals there are just absolutely off the charts. It's almost like a full self-contained city, a self-contained community that offers everything from showers, laundry facilities, restroom facilities. They have access to medical care, computer labs. There's if entire families are met and find themselves at this facility, there are places that they can stay together as a family. They even have areas where if someone has a pet, they can bring the pet with them. I know that many times pets make a huge impact on our unhoused community individuals. It's a tie for them. It's a love thing, right? And so to have a place where they can take their pets is really it's a really good thing. We do DSS, the Division of Social Services. We have staff located on the campus. So we have staff there at the Courtyard, and we have for a couple years now, ever since they opened. And the staff that we have there conduct interviews for SNAP and TANF. They take all applications. They take Medicaid applications as well. And they even issue EBT cards. And we had it that way. We had that set up for quite a while. And then we realized that we had a gap in the wraparound services that we provide. A big missing piece that we knew was missing, and I had conversations with staff over at the Courtyard. We didn't have a social worker there, and more importantly, we didn't have a social worker there that was certified in SOAR. So what is SOAR? So SOAR is SSI or SSDI, so Social Security or Social Security Disability, outreach, access, and recovery. And what the folks who are SOAR certified do is they provide outreach to folks who are experiencing homelessness or are at risk of being homeless. And they help them navigate through the application process for disability benefits through the Social Security Administration. Anyone who's navigated those fields, anyone who has maybe helped a loved one or has gone through that themselves, knows that it is a cumbersome process. It's challenging. There's so much paperwork. There's so much medical records that are needed. And I speak from experience because I have a cousin that lives with me, and she has cerebral palsy. And until she came and lived with me 10 years ago, she had never been on SSI and didn't know the first thing about it. So I walked her through the process of getting on SSI myself. Luckily, we do what we do, so some of that paperwork's not a huge barrier for us, but it is for many, many people. And so any of our social workers that are SOAR certified can provide this meaningful assistance to these individuals that need their help. The SOAR individuals also help provide access to recovery support. So on May 25th or 29th, rather, I think, of this year, we did assign a full-time dedicated social work to the Courtyard. At this point, they're only there on Tuesdays and Thursdays because we go more often or less often based on need. And so right now, Tuesdays and Thursdays seems to be enough to support the need that's there at this time. And so she has worked, and I know these numbers are going to sound low, but I promise you that they're more impactful than it sounds. But she's worked with 13 on-site cases with helping them with SOAR and additional resources, right? And so while working there, our social worker has built relationships on site with community partners, the day center, the city, Nevada Behavioral Health, there's an Aero shuttle, WC Health, MTM, the folks that provide transportation services. She's expanding her resource knowledge every day, really, honestly. She attends weekly in-service presentations where community partners discuss the programs that they offer, and they provide direct contact information. So she's growing that list of resources so that she can provide direct contact information to the customers that she's helping when she's there. In addition, she recently earned a certification as a Safe Nest preferred partner. So that allows her to complete danger assessment law enforcement evaluations. Those are called DAILs. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, but she's able to do those evaluations and provide direct referrals to Safe Nest. That enables the victim, someone going through domestic violence, it allows them to not be re-traumatized by telling their story over and over and over again. And they're able to share their story directly with someone who's an advocate. They're an advocate, they're able to talk to them on that level, and they don't have to tell it time and time again. Because sometimes, I love law enforcement, I think that they provide an invaluable service to us, but sometimes sitting down with a social worker versus a law enforcement officer can be gentler, softer, easier to deal with. And so they provide that service there, which I think is an incredible certification that they went and got, that she went and got there to do that. When she isn't handling specialized casework, one of the things that she does is she just works the TANF welfare to work participants. So she does what we do in the regular offices, and she's able to reach out to our customers who receive TANF cash assistance and help them with their work readiness things and how to, like if they need support services, she's able to help with those things as well. And so having someone on site at the Courtyard with those skills ready and available that can provide direct access to the services. So between the social worker, the eligibility staff that we have there, the folks issuing EBT cards, along with all the wonderful things that the Courtyard already does, we really are helping to break down some of those barriers to truly becoming self-sufficiency, to sometimes stop someone from being unhoused and not having somewhere to go and somewhere to sleep at night. So that's just a really quick little snippet of what we do there and what our footprint looks like. I'm certainly willing to take any questions if anyone has questions, but that's what we do over at the Courtyard.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that overview. And appreciate the work that you and your team are doing. Do any members of the council have any questions for Ms. Cantrelle?
Yes, this is Dr. Katrina.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Kelly. I was wondering if your social work staff are seeing any impacts of the SOAR program fund, and if so, how are you guys pivoting to ensure you can continue to do that work to assist those individuals with that SSI outreach, access, and recovery?
So thank you for the question. As of right now, I can honestly say there haven't been any cuts that we've been made aware of to that particular program or that particular, any funding that we get through that. That is more we get a certification and then we're able to do the work. And so there's not a lot of funding that goes behind that. It's more of they work for us, they're on our payroll, but they're able to take some of the time that they're employed with us and dedicate it to helping individuals through that process. So at this point, I haven't heard of any funding cuts that affect that, aside from all the regular, just everyday funding cuts that we've all heard so much about, but nothing specific to the SOAR program.
Thank you. One more question. Do you guys keep track of the SOAR applications that you're doing and what your success rate is of getting people those benefits?
Yes, so we do definitely keep track of the applications. Honestly, I haven't asked about the success rate or how many have actually gotten approved. We just got their little gal over there at the end of May. I don't know if you're aware, but I certainly am. It can take months and months and sometimes even years to get approved for Social Security. So we might not have that data yet, but I certainly will dive into that. I will see if we've gotten anyone approved in the amount of time we've been doing it, and I can report it back to this committee. I can get that information.
Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome.
Great. Senator Neal?
Thank you. So I just had a quick question. Kelly, are you only operating at the Courtyard or are you in other space for the
So
SOAR
we are. So for social workers right now, we're in two areas. We're at the we're at the Courtyard in the south with social workers. We are also in the north at, and you guys are going to hate me. The name of where they're at in the north is completely slipped my mind right now. But there's a facility similar to the Courtyard in the north that we are also at there. And we've recently made connection with Safe Nest, and we have a plan to put a social work at their new facility that they're currently, I think, Administrator Thompson toured very recently, maybe even as recently as yesterday. We toured that new facility for Safe Nest, and we have every intention on putting a social work there as well. Our social workers have not branched out a lot in recent years. It is something we are starting now. We're starting to recognize how the need is out there, Senator Neal, and we plan to fully get them out and in the community more than we currently have them.
So let me ask you this, because this may be a missed opportunity, and I know resources are slim, but this also might be a conversation between Division of Social Services and City of Henderson. So the cooling stations, and I'm not sure if Gibson Library on Lake Mead in Henderson is a one-stop, meaning that it has this, the cohorts in the library, but they're using the Gibson cooling station, the Gibson Library as a cooling station. And the librarian today was saying that there are no resources being offered. And I'm like, well, if you're just going to have homeless in the library, away from the heat, isn't that like perfect alignment to like offer services? Like, this is a total missed opportunity. And I was just like, because if they're there from 9 a.m. forward, why are we offering services? And I feel like I just wanted to bring it up because I know that this is an area that you're in, to say that this might be something to reach out and like have this conversation about alignment of services if you're going to have them in the library all day, so there can be some resource alignment here.
Yes, ma'am. It looks like Administrator Thompson has a comment.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Robert Thompson for the record, less of a comment and more just nudging in. So while Kelly has been specifically talking about social workers, I would want to clarify on the line that is not our eligibility workers too. And if Kelly just wanted to talk for 30 seconds about what the eligibility workers are doing throughout the state of Nevada and the outreach, that might give a bigger picture of what we're doing aside from the social workers.
You bet. So as Administrator Thompson just said, our social workers are just now branching out. We have 60 eligibility staff that work out in the community. I just got recent numbers on that. We are in 232 community sites. I do know, Senator Neal, we are in some one-stops, so I need to connect with you and get exactly the information on this particular one-stop, because we do service one-stops. We have 5 eligibility staff that service various one-stops throughout the South. So I will get that information from you. But our eligibility workers, like I said, are in 232 community sites. They are either
Councilor Mercy?
they're either on-site physically, and they offer the same thing as the eligibility staff at the Courtyard, where they do the cash medical SNAP assistance applications. They can go all the way through approval, hand them the EBT card, but they also have a close tie to energy assistance and can give those applications, childcare applications, and a lot of other community partners that they have gained and grown themselves with their own resource list as well. So WIC is another one of them that they definitely do. So we have people throughout the entire state. We're in every county. We are in the rurals. If you can think of it, we're probably there. But Senator Neal, I will get information from you specifically on this one, and we will definitely take an opportunity if we're not there to see what services we can provide.
I just want to be clear, Mr. Thompson, you know that I love the work that you guys are doing. Like 1000%. I always roll people into your services. You guys are my go-to. But I think there's a disconnect between either that library, and I definitely want to connect it. And so let's just talk offline.
We'll definitely connect. I just didn't want you knew that we had those people throughout the whole community, but I wasn't sure the rest of the committee knew that we had 232 other sites covered. So I just wanted to make sure that we got that word out.
Definitely appreciate it. And that just a reminder as we go forward, if you wouldn't mind stating your name before you make anything, it probably makes it easier on the minutes on our staff end. Any additional comments or questions for Ms. Cantrelle? Awesome. Well, hearing none, thank you so much for the work that you guys are doing, and all of the things that you do with our community partners is pretty impressive. And I know you guys will continue to make great things happen. So thank you so much. And thanks for your time today, giving us an overview of all the work that you guys are doing.
Thank you all.
So we will move into agenda item number 6, a presentation from the Campus for Hope. I believe Ms. Jeffries was not able to join us, but is there somebody from Campus for Hope that would be willing to give a presentation today?
Yes, sir. I'd love to. My name's Asia Leha, for the record, make it easier on your staff. I am the chief of staff, and I see a couple of familiar faces. So great to see you all again, and thank you so much for having me, Chair. Here we are. And just by a show of hands, how many people have heard about Campus for Hope? Seeing a couple. Okay. Great to hear. Ooh, a lot, quite a bit. Wonderful. Then, Abigail, I don't think I have access, but would you mind skipping a few? Perfect. Yeah, we can. Oh, yeah, this works. Okay. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Asia Leha. I'm the chief of staff. We also have Dr. Albert Chavez, who just joined our team from Catholic Charities last week. So he's about 8 or 9 days in. He is a wonderful asset. He's our chief programs officer. He worked in the Corridor of Hope, so he has a lot of expertise to be giving to us. Some background on myself and Kim. We come from the Haven for Hope model in San Antonio that this large campus will be modeled after. We ran an organization there, and also it had the courtyard that this courtyard was modeled after in San Antonio. So we were able to bring some of that expertise here, and we'll be working with the Courtyard moving forward to see if there's any best practices that we can offer and just keep all of the good work going. For this particular project, so it's Campus for Hope. It's 20 acres. It is on the corner of Jones and Charleston, kind of squeezed in between Community College, right on the other side of CSN and Jones. It's a large, and I know a lot of you all know this, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but it's a large parcel of state land, and we're getting the northernmost 20 acres. We'll have roughly 900 beds, which we hope to serve about 4,300 clients every single year. If we can go to the next slide. Campus for Hope is a transformational campus. If we can go to the next slide as well. We'll go one more. Lovely. So the goal of this transformational campus and the reason why we believe it was successful in San Antonio is because of the wraparound services and partner opportunities we're able to provide on this campus. So on this one campus, we hope to not only have case management, but we hope to have healthcare, medical, dental, vision, behavioral health, counseling, job support, housing assistance, education support, and then all of our basic needs for our clients will be met as well. So that's food, 3 meals a day, clothing, safety, assistance with transportation, legal support, family services, not only a separate family dorm, but also childcare watching services so that our clients can get jobs and move forward in their housing plans. And there will be so many more services that we'll talk about, but this is kind of the bread and butter of what we hope to provide to our clients who are able to get onto our 20 acres. If we'll go to the next slide. Lovely. Okay, so as you all know, this started just a few years ago in the legislative session where Campus for Hope was thought through by, I know specifically the WIN team had a very large hand in bringing this to the table, and the amazing team with Jeremy Arguero at Applied Analysis and Miles Dixon with Nevada Grant Lab put brilliant minds together in a room and started to get some traction on this. In the legislative session as well, they've required for each of the 4 municipalities to have navigation centers. So those will be on board. The Courtyard is one of the navigation centers for the city of Las Vegas proper. And of course, Henderson will be having one, city of North Las Vegas will have one, and the county has a couple presently. So we'll be working with the municipalities to ensure that there is a way in for clients. While Campus for Hope's main campus will not be a walk up and enroll facility. So there's no opportunity for clients to come to our front door, wait at our front door, anything like that to get access. They'll be routed to the navigation centers, and through the navigation centers and trusted partners, be able to access our services. Next slide. So we've really started with our client profiles. So we've tried to find the larger profiles of the community that we'll serve. So of course, the economically displaced individuals and families, singles with low to moderate acuity. So for example, somebody that is high acuity, going through a crisis, very active in their addiction and needs a couple more services to get them to the lower or moderate acuity. Individuals existing in adjacent systems. So that could be the justice system. We've learned a lot about the eviction courts here, so that could be another system where we're the step down facility too. And then individuals and families fleeing domestic violence. We've heard a lot of wonderful organizations in this space expanding their services to help individuals and families. And we hope to be able to be an additive to that system and make sure that we're not duplicating efforts. We're just providing additional services to the community because that seems like what might be needed. Next slide, please. Lovely. Okay, so we'll get into the campus makeup of the 900 beds. So we'll have 37% of the beds will go to families, 42% will go to single males and females, half and half separated. Young adults will have 13%. They'll have their own separate dorm. In San Antonio, in this model, it was really helpful for our young adults to cohabitate together in one separate pod where they're able to really work together to overcome their homelessness. Unmarried couples and married couples, so just couples in general, but with no kids, no children. And then LGBTQ plus individuals will have their own separate pod as well. And then if you'll just click twice, I think it'll fill the rest of this slide. Yeah, there we go. All right, so some unique amenities that we really are going to have on campus that's so helpful to our clients and was in San Antonio is have a childcare center integrated to ensure that our clients can meet with the service providers to move them along. An indoor kennel and cattery. because I think it was Kelly earlier who spoke about the importance between individuals experiencing homelessness who have lived on the streets with their animals and not having to be separated. Free shops, including a clothing store, barbershop, beauty salon, post office, fitness center, and gym. We hope to have a micro enterprise on campus where we're able to either a bakery, cafe, donut shop, where not only our clients can work there and get really important skills like inventory and scheduling and baristaing, but being able to partner with an organization that will get workforce development to our clients. And then we hope to have an introduction to the Trades Center, because that's obviously a massive avenue for our clients to get workforce development. So we're really excited about that. Campus eligibility. And background for the campus eligibility, we're still working through this a lot. And I see a couple people from our working group, I believe. We have a working group made up of municipality leaders, not only that, but state leaders, nonprofit leaders in this space, where we all get together and put our heads together in regards to some pretty big eligibility requirements that'll be on campus, because again, we don't want to duplicate services. We want to be an additive. Not only do we want to be an additive, but we want to provide the best service that we can to these clients with the least amount of barriers. So some of the campus eligibility, even though we're working through it, that we've discussed a lot about, is that each client, of course, must be a resident of the state of Nevada. They have to have the ability to pass a background check. So no registered sex offenders, because we will have a lot of families on our campus. They will be committed to sobriety while on campus, because it is safer for our families and the children on campus. And there will be a requirement to engage in programming and volunteer or work on campus. That's something that in San Antonio, towards the end of Kim and I's time there, we were noticing that clients want to be involved in making the facility something to be proud of. And it contributes a lot to how proud and comfortable people feel in their space if they're having a hand at keeping it not only safe and beautiful, but just having some ownership. So that was really helpful in San Antonio. Perfect. Okay, next slide. Lovely. So as you see, this is one of the renderings, and of course, we're really preliminary design right now. So these are not the set in stone renderings that we know that it'll look like, but the feel is something like a college campus, one-stop shop, an actual community. It'll look like where our clients will live and receive their services and go to the hair shop when they move forward in their housing plan. And that's really the goal. We've just started engaging with architects to talk through the design. And one of the priorities is a trauma-informed design. Not only do we want to have trauma-informed services and care towards these individuals, but we want the architecture to be able to serve us in a trauma-informed way. There are so many things that we can do in our surroundings to help our clients feel safe, comfortable, and then move forward in their housing plan. So that's something that we've really had to focus on in our design. Next slide. Beautiful, just another rendering. Next slide. Lovely, okay, so I'm sure the next question is, when is this all happening? So our implementation timeline is spring 2028. We hope to open. We had our official or unofficial groundbreaking, where we haven't broken ground, but we had the ceremony. So in summer 2025, we'll actually start groundbreaking and getting into the soil later this year. And then early next year, we'll start vertical building. Our goal for the design is to have our requests for partnership go out to partners, because the goal of campus is that we do the operational side, and we have lovely partners who are doing the work and are the best in the space come and give services in the facility to our clients. So we're not duplicating efforts. It's not us doing every single service of those 20 services that you saw. It's people that are doing the work well, and can come on our campus and do that service. And so we hope to have that in early next year to really get a feel for what is going to be on campus. Not only that, but have our partners have a say in the design as well, if they have best practices and what they'd like that space to look like, and it would help them serve our clients to the best of their ability, then we want that input. So we'll start getting that in the middle of or beginning of next year, with selections in summer of 2026, to really get everything going. Next slide. All right, let's make a difference together. I think that is all of it. I'm here to answer any questions, and Dr. Chavez can jump in too if there's anything that he can answer.
Thank you so much, and thank you both for being on today. I think this is a really exciting project that I know a lot of folks in the governor's office where I work are very engaged and excited to be a part of it. I know the governor and some of our staff were able to join for some of the most recent festivities around this project, and I really appreciate the work that's being done here. Is there anybody on the council that has any questions on the Campus for Hope? Go ahead, Cheryl.
Can I make a comment? Cheryl from the Las Vegas head office. Can you remind me again where the funding came from?
Of course. Hi, Cheryl. She's on our working group as well. So thank you for letting me touch on this again. So our primary funding, it's $100 million that'll be matched from the state of Nevada and the governor's office, who really supported us. So it was wonderful to have him at the groundbreaking, but it'll be $100 million matched by private funding, which has primarily been the casinos, really big in this space, Wynn, MGM, Caesars, and I could name them all. They're members of our board, but they've made up a really massive chunk of that $100 million for us to be able to match with the state. So it can be a $200 million facility. And then operationally, we'll have $30 million. Half of it will be provided by the state, matched lovely with our municipalities here who have signed on.
It really is a whole estate effort, and I think that's how things are most successful, when you bring everybody to the table and find solutions and get them funded and get them done. So appreciate that. Anybody else have any questions or comments on Campus for Hope? Go ahead, Director Devine.
I just want to say my team had an opportunity to sit through a couple of your briefings recently, and we are very excited to partner with you and all of the other organizations to make sure that we have an opportunity to assist with our homeless vets. So thank you. Very exciting stuff.
Thank you, Director, and thank you for your team being able to attend. We've been having information sessions, and we'll have them for a long time until we start to get closer to opening, hopefully at a regular frequency. So I'll be sure to add anybody. I'll put my name in the chat if you'd like to be added to our stakeholder list just to get regular updates. I'd love to include anybody on here. And thank you so much, Director. We're so grateful for this partnership. I think we've seen it work in San Antonio, in the city that Kim and I were born and raised in, so we can see what it can do for Nevada, and we're really excited. So thank you all so much for your work.
So any other members of the council? Well, thank you so much, and thanks for all the work that you have done and will continue to do for our state, and we look forward to seeing the successful implementation here pretty soon. Thank you so much. With that, we will move into agenda item number 7, a presentation from the Lived Experience Advisory Board on the work with and within Washoe County. Do we have folks from that group on the line?
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Echo Gill. I'll be presenting today with my co-lead, Lawrence Dodson. We will be talking about what we're currently doing and what we have done with Washoe County as our local Lived Experience Advisory Board. Can I please have the next slide? During this presentation, we'll discuss our work with and within Washoe County, our current projects, and our goals for the future. Next slide, please.
Yes, my name is Lawrence Dodson. LEAB has actively participated in the rating and ranking process for local service providers within Washoe County. This involved evaluating various agencies based on their effectiveness, service quality, and alignment with community needs. LEAB members contributed their unique perspective grounded in lived experience to ensure that the evaluation criteria were inclusive and reflective of real-world challenges faced by individuals experiencing homelessness. Their involvement helped prioritize funding and support for programs that demonstrated tangible impact and responsiveness to client needs. LEAB contributed to the Continuum of Care Policies and Procedures Working Group by offering insights from lived experience to shape more inclusive and effective policies. Their participation ensured that the voices of those directly affected by homelessness were considered in decision-making processes. LEAB advocated for procedural changes that promote equity, accessibility, and dignity in service delivery. Their input was instrumental in revising guidelines to better support vulnerable populations and improve coordination among service providers. LEAB collaborated with the NNCLC and RAW to enhance service coordination and resource sharing. This partnership focused on identifying gaps in service delivery and developing strategies to address them. LEAB facilitated communication between agencies and individuals experiencing homelessness, helping to bridge understanding and improve responsiveness. Their efforts contributed to a more cohesive network of support services, ultimately aiming to reduce barriers and improve outcomes for clients. LEAB presented at the Washoe County Commissioners to share their insights, experiences, and recommendations. These presentations aim to influence county-level decisions by highlighting the realities of homelessness and the effectiveness of current interventions. LEAB emphasized the importance of including lived experience in policy development and advocated for increased support for programs that prioritize dignity and empowerment. Their engagement with the commissioners helped raise awareness and foster a more informed and compassionate approach to addressing homelessness. Next slide, please.
Currently, we're working up on the completion of the Washoe County resource list. This kind of is an ongoing project that never really ends because things change constantly. We're also working on hiring and training new members. This one has been a little bit of an obstacle due to funding issues like everybody in this field is dealing with right now. We're also providing training and informative presentations to our local service agencies, including some of our healthcare services, insurance companies, Eddie House, our youth house, and with our DV shelter here. We also were working with Winged Wolf Initiative to become our own nonprofit and gather funding, which is something that is ongoing. We're continuing to work on that one. Next slide, please.
LEAB plans to launch a street outreach team dedicated to engaging directly with unsheltered individuals in Washoe County. This team will provide on-the-ground support, distribute resources, and connect people to services. The outreach initiative is designed to build trust, reduce barriers to access, and offer immediate assistance. LEAB's approach emphasizes empathy, cultural sensitivity, and responsiveness to individual needs. The team will also collect data to inform future programming and policy advocacy. LEAB aims to grow its team by recruiting additional members who bring diverse experiences and perspectives. Expansion will enhance LEAB's capacity to engage with the community, participate in policy discussions, and deliver impactful programs. The recruitment strategy includes outreach to underrepresented groups and individuals with specialized knowledge. LEAB also plans to invest in ongoing training and professional development to ensure that all members are equipped to contribute effectively. This growth supports LEAB's mission of inclusive and representative advocacy. Next slide, please.
Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you guys having us here today. This is our contact information. Please feel free to reach out to either one of us at any time. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you both for joining us today and discussing some of the great work that you and your teams have been doing. I think it's always great to have the experience that you bring to the table and the conversation and driving some of the policy discussions that you are. So appreciate all the work you're doing in Washoe County. Is there anybody on the council that has any questions or comments for this team?
Chair Rob, this is Judge Rob. I do have a question. Echo, can you tell me, you were talking about the outreach that you do and assisting people in getting services. The sheriff's office has a similar program. Are you working in conjunction with them?
We are not yet. We are waiting to run background checks so we can do ride-alongs with them to see how they're functioning and how they operate. So we can kind of use that as a little bit of a guideline for our own future outreach programs, but that's not something that's been completed yet.
Okay, but it's something that's at least on your radar.
Yes, very much so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any additional? Judge Montero.
Yeah, this is Judge Michael Montero for the record, and I'm a district court judge out in Winnemucca, so I'm out in the rurals, and I was just curious. I know this was presented as Washoe County, but is this extending to any of the area outside of Reno Sparks?
We do intend to try to reach some of our outlying areas. For right now, that's a little difficult for us since it's just Lawrence and I, but we do want to connect with some of our rural areas and at the very least help them to build their own boards so that we can just give guidance and then their own communities can carry it on from there.
Very good, thank you.
Anything additional for this team? Well, thank you both for joining and the work that you do. We really appreciate the time today and getting a glimpse into some of the work that you're doing and look forward to seeing what it does in the future. Thank you both. Thank you. With that, we'll jump into agenda item number 8, a presentation from the Southern Nevada Lived Experience team on the recent ordinance ban survey and the 2023 annual report.
Hello, my name is Danica Martinez. I am the Co-People Lived Experience Coordinator, contract with Nevada Homeless Alliance. Next slide, please. Our mission and vision are rooted in belief that real changes come from centering the voices of those with lived experience of homelessness, and they guide us in creating solutions that are compassionate, inclusive, and driven by the people most impacted. Next slide, please. This statement here is a recognition of our fearless leader, Dr. Katrina Grigsby Thetford, and was thoughtfully written and was a collaborative effort by our entire team. Next slide, please. This is our team in 2024. Since then, in 2025, we have welcomed 2 new members and now have 2 full-time lived experience specialists employed with Nevada Homeless Alliance. Next slide, please. We are committed to showing up for people with lived and shared experiences by engaging our community year-round and ensuring their voices shape service delivery, decision-making at every level. It is imperative that lived expertise of those with past and current experiences of homelessness is recognized, respected, and integrated in a thorough, informed, and meaningful way. Next slide, please. Through the referral tab on the Nevada Homeless Alliance website, as well as direct email requests, we continue to receive increasing calls for our expertise. Here's a quick glance of our requests, as well as this represents a 77.27% increase from 2023. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Our project highlights reflect just how busy we stay, continuously elevating lived expertise across the community through a variety of spaces, platforms, and partnerships. Next slide, please. Within the COC governing board and committees, we are proud to hold 2 board seats within the Southern Nevada COC and to have representation across key communities with one member on the COC programs committee, 2 on the HMI steering committee, 3 on the coordinated service committee. This is how we ensure that voices of people with lived and current experiences of homelessness are not only heard, but are actively shaping the service delivery and decision-making at every level by being fully present and active within our COC. Next slide, please. Since 2022, a member with lived experience has been an integral part of the scoring and ranking team for the special NOFOs issued by HUD, ensuring that lived expertise is included in this vital decision-making process. Next slide, please. Academy 101, or excuse me, Solving Homelessness 101, also known as Academy 101. Elaine DeColony and myself gathered the experiences of people at various stages of homelessness. I guided Elaine through the tunnels and provided her space to conduct her interviews. And additional members of the lived experience team also contributed their expertise to develop this impactful 25-hour training course. It's really a great course. Next slide, please. A few of our members have been involved with the HPS initiative, Housing Problem Solving Initiative, since its first drafts here in Las Vegas in 2023, and we continue this important work throughout this year as well. In 2024, we led HPS trainings emphasizing collaborative client-centered problem solving to prevent homelessness and promote housing stability. Next slide, please. Our team contributed to a regional heat map analysis by providing ongoing firsthand anecdotal data on the lived experience of unsheltered individuals during extreme weather events. These powerful narratives have been instrumental in deepening the understanding of climate vulnerability. Next slide, please. Some of our members with lived experience of youth homelessness have served on the YEH steering committee, elevating their expertise to help address youth homelessness. Next slide, please. 4 members of the LiveDex team facilitate trainings for the Youth Action Board, and we are continuing these efforts into this year. Next slide, please. As part of our ongoing commitment to ending youth homelessness, our team contributed valuable expertise to the Nevada Youth Experiencing Homelessness Study. Next slide, please. 2 of our consultants supported the Washoe County LEAP Experience Advisory Board, who Dr. Katrina and I formed, by integrating leadership development into their work. LEAP members presenting their findings, as you've seen today, across various platforms and agencies, and their insights have since been integrated into direct projects within Washoe County. Very proud of you guys. Next slide, please. Our team developed a survey specifically for individuals experiencing unsheltered homelessness, which was first implemented during Project Homeless Connect on November 21st, 2023. During the event, we surveyed 241 individuals, and here are our key findings. As you see, can you scroll up just a little bit, please? Just a tiny bit. Other way. Sorry, scroll down. Thank you. So as you see right here, just real quick, the length of time, the longest length of time that we've surveyed was 1 to 3 years. That's in the green. And then 3 to 5 years, and the next one is 6 to 12 months. Next, scroll down, please. Age, the highest ages, if you see right here, age 35 to 44, 45 to 54, and 55 to 64 make up a large percentage of the homeless population with age. Race, ethnicity, as you can see, there's very little in between white and Caucasian and Black African American. The next slide, please. What services do you think they're missing in the community? Housing was, of course, and shelter were the #1 right here. As you, you guys can see my pointer. Housing and shelters for individuals was one of the #1 answers, of course. And then another one was resources. It's different types of resource events, just the knowledge of resources. Our community feels that they're missing the knowledge of knowing where to receive them at. Next one, please. This is a big one for us when we compile the data and we see what can our community be better at, and that is the #1 answer was empathy and caring. Our community, people experiencing homelessness feel like they are not being cared about, they're not seen, and that shows right here in the data. Next slide, please. What's the one thing that can end homelessness right now? #1 answer is housing, of course. But if you notice over here, the third one over, it goes housing, employment, and this one is community unity. So that's a huge one I wanted to elevate. Next slide, please. So this is in 2024, we lost 350 of our unhoused neighbors here in Las Vegas. We honor their lives and their humanity with this statement from our team. And the next few slides will highlight individuals who made a lasting impact in our community through their advocacy, their lived experience, and their unwavering commitment to end homelessness. Next slide, please. You have Harvey Austin, longtime volunteer at Care Complex, Juan Salinas, Director of Social Services at Salvation Army. Thank you, Anthony James Phillips, co-founder of Street Dogs. Next slide, please. And Pastor Henry Darnell Sneed, he was a board member of the Nevada Homeless Alliance. Next slide, please. And Lewis Hickson, who was a program manager at CPLC, but he was also one of our LiveDex team. If you noticed when we first introduced the members, you saw his picture on there. And he is greatly missed. Next slide, please. Our team is actively engaged in several ongoing efforts throughout the community, including presenting findings from our original camping ban ordinance survey, the follow-up camping ban survey. We're also contributing to the conference planning for the Nevada Homeless Alliance's Mission Possible addressing conference happening on September 29th. In addition, we continue to provide updates to coordinate entry access points alongside the ongoing projects we've highlighted throughout this presentation. And also we have a contract with CSH to co-create and facilitate training for funders, developers, and service providers. And we hope to launch this in October 1st. Here's our contact information if you ever would like to request our expertise. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Ms. Martinez. We really appreciate all the work that you're doing and the leadership in this space as well. Is there anybody on the council that has any questions for the team?
Hi, this is Dr. Katrina. I feel like a proud mom now. Danica, can you talk more about the Capitol Hill Day and advocacy that the Southern Nevada LiveDex Consultants team participates in?
Yes. So since 2023, we have been going out to the Nevada Homeless Alliance to end homelessness conference and participating in Capitol Hill Day. And then how we do that is by ensuring that we have a diverse team consisting of LGBTQIA, veteran, people with lived experience, frontline workers, and leadership staff. So when we go before our legislators, we are able to provide them real-time lived experiences while we're making our asks of support. And I would say that our team does an amazing job, and the people that registered to come and do that to help come with us on Capitol Day, they do a great job as well.
Thank you. Good work.
Awesome. Any additional comments or questions? Awesome. Hearing and seeing none. Thank you so much for the time today, and thanks for your continued work. Really amazing things, and that data I think is really helpful in contributing to the conversation and making things, helping our policymakers make informed decisions. So really appreciate it, and thank you so much for being here today. With that, I think we can move into agenda item number 9, the Nevada Homeless Alliance 2024 Overview and Future Overlook. Dr. Katrina, take it away.
Awesome. I think I sent my slides. Do I need to share, or will you guys be sharing? Oh, I see a PowerPoint thing just popped up. Let's see. So while we're waiting for that, my name is Dr. Katrina. I'm the Executive Director of Nevada Homeless Alliance down here in Las Vegas. There it is. Right on time. And I've been in this role since 2021. And so it's been a long, short, almost 4 years that I've been in this role, but we're doing a lot of things in the community, and I'm grateful to be able to share some of those things with you guys today. I also sit on this council in the lived experience seat. And so I'm happy to be a part of this group and elevating the voices of people with lived experience by, offering up for Lived X and early on the Washoe County Lived Experience Advisory Board, who is under Washoe County now. But I know that previously when they first started, I kind of put them on the spot to present to this board a couple of years back. So next slide, please. So I always just start with gratitude, just thanking our partners and stakeholders for making a difference. And this is just an overview of 2024. And at the end, we'll talk about what we're doing now and what's to come. Next slide. So our mission is to advance collaborative strategies to end homelessness in Southern Nevada through advocacy, public awareness, education, and coordination of services. And our vision is to end homelessness in Southern Nevada. Next slide. So at the Nevada Homeless Alliance, we are an agency. One of our pillars is policy and advocacy. The next is education and awareness. We do a lot of collaborations, and we also provide direct service. Most of this information we'll be talking about collaborations and direct service. So a little bit about policy and advocacy. So as the executive director, I along with Danica, are the Capitol Hill Day co-captains for the state of Nevada for when we go to DC during the National Alliance in Homelessness Conference. And as well as we're just in the area, they're really good about making appointments with the elected officials locally and at the national level to talk about needs in the community. We also participate in a lot of working groups as it relates to policy. We do a lot of education and awareness. So we partner with professional trainers to provide in-person and online training on best practices in working with people experiencing homelessness. So right now we have a platform where community partners who are working with people experiencing homelessness, they don't necessarily have to be a homeless service provider to learn best practices in using motivational interviewing, self-care, just so many different topics that are really valuable in working with this very vulnerable population. We are approved by the Board of Examiners for Social Workers to provide CEUs, as well as by the Nevada Certification Board to provide CEUs for community health workers, doulas, peer recovery support specialists, et cetera, et cetera. And also our lived experience team are really involved in ensuring all of our fact sheets and public awareness data sets are posted on our website for the public. So now I'll go to this slide. So we do resource fairs in the community up to 4 to 8 per month. We go to areas that are highly populated with people experiencing homelessness, and we provide on-the-spot resources. We're intentional about only inviting providers who can provide services at the event. So partners like Department of Welfare and Social Services, providing individuals the opportunity to sign up for Medicaid, food stamps, and things like that. We have our managed care organizations out there, Anthem, Molina, Silver Summit, whoever's available. We have legal aid there. We have behavioral health, which includes substance abuse and mental health providers, housing providers. We have the shower truck there. We set up a clothing store. We do safe sex safe sex tool giveaways, as well as harm reduction like fentanyl test strips and clean needles. We want to meet people exactly where they are to get them those on-the-spot services, because we know that if an individual goes to one agency today, they may need 3 or 4 other things, and they get one bus pass and often get told, go to these 3 places and come see me tomorrow or the next day. And often people are giving up. And our events is really easy. Hey, you just need to walk across to the purple tablecloth or to the red tablecloth, and they can help with you with that service. And we also make sure that we're able to transport people to detox, substance use facilities, housing, if they're willing to accept at that point. So we served 5,399 unique individuals last year. It is not just like we're going out feeding. We're out actually sitting at tables, providing services, signing people up for resources, and doing whatever that client feel is the next step in their journey. So we had 36 pop-up events. We had 13 Family Connects events where we partner with Title I Hope and Clark County School District. All 13 of those events were at Title I Hope coded schools. So our goal for that was to assist those low-income families who may be homeless or at risk of homelessness to access services. So our biggest thing that we provide, a lot of recovery. So the recovery number is really mental health and substance use services. In a lot of medical services, we work closely with our street medicine partners, as well as with our Southern Nevada Health District to provide vaccines. It may be wound care, blood pressure checks, diabetes checks. And I think those services were really a big hit last year because we promoted health. And so individuals who got one of those medical services were able to get a $10 gift card. And so, they were coming for the gift card, but then they get some information about what they need to do as it relates to their health as well. So it was a great thing. And those services, the recovery and medical services are always high on the totem pole for us. Individuals come for that. We did a lot of IDs and birth certificates. I don't have the birth certificate number on here, but we do assist individuals with purchasing those IDs and birth certificates because often they don't have an address, they don't have the money to pay for them, and in order to get many of the services, they need an ID, and often the birth certificate comes first. So our agency, as well as many other agencies in the community, helps with those ID recovery documents. Next slide, please. So these are our programs that we had in 2024. We just talked about the pop-up connect events. We talked about the family connect events. We have our people with lived experience group, and we've just been approved a couple months ago. Our county supported us in hiring 2 full-time Nevada Homeless Alliance staff members. And one of the priorities is that they have to be people with lived experience. So they're really involved in the work. Our people with lived experience team includes 2 full-time staff members, 9 independent contractors, and 2 other staff members who, one is a street outreach supervisor and another is our community engagement specialist. And they're all under that people with lived experience team. We had some homeless diversion and barrier busting programs last year that ended with ARPA funding, but we're still continuing to do that work. And we also were funded by Southern Nevada Health District to have vaccine pods to make sure that vaccines and healthcare were easily accessible to the most vulnerable. Next slide. And I talked a little bit about the training, right? So we still have our homeless service provider training on a platform called Learn Worlds. You can visit our website and click on training, and it will take you directly to the site to read about those courses and possibly sign up if you're interested. We had our 2024 Nevada Statewide Conference last year at the Flamingo. We hosted the 31st annual Homeless Candlelight Vigil last year. And we also attended the National Alliance in Homelessness Conference and Capitol Hill Day last year, as well as Danique and I attended the National Coalition for the Homeless. They had a 2024 Lived Experience Leadership Conference, which was very valuable. And we brought a lot of the information right back home so we can implement some of those strategies. Next slide. So we talked about the pop-up events, 36 and 24 and 13 Family Connects, and we provide all those services. Next slide. This is a breakdown of what you saw earlier. Next slide. The lived experience leadership. So in the beginning, we assisted Washoe County with forming the Lived Experience Advisory Board. That contract ended in 2024, and now they're self-sustaining through their Washoe County funding. It was a great experience for us to be able to go up north and just help our state in general build these boards. And so we continue to feel like proud cousins of the Washoe County Lived Experience Advisory Board. I'm really proud of you guys' work. And I just mentioned about our Southern Nevada Lived X team. Next slide. So our barrier busing and homeless diversion was launched in 2022 with ARPA funding. 100% of the individuals we served were under 50% area median income. So we served people as long as they were under the area median income. Some people were at risk of homeless. Some people were homeless. We served about 2,700 individuals under that funding source. Over 1,800 ID recoveries. That's just ID and driver's license, and 850 birth certificate assistances since 2022. We also did a lot of financial help for people who were at risk of homelessness, those individuals who were in a federal or state program where, for instance, the federal or state funds may only cover 2 times deposit. We would go in and cover that 3rd time. And we also assist with individuals with work cards, work clothing, transportation, and we use some of those funds to go inside the NDOC to meet with individuals who were expiring their sentence within 90 days, because we don't believe that prison exit should be a homeless entry point. And so that was a really good program that we launched in the NDOC in 22-23 with ARPA funds. Next slide, please. I think Danica talked a little bit about Capitol Hill Day. I just put a couple pictures of myself and some lived ex consultants and other individuals from our community. I see Lawrence from Washoe County in this picture that's posted here with Dina Titus. Next slide. Again, just a quick mention again, we did have our 2024 Nevada Statewide Conference last year at the Flamingo, and this is just a few pictures of our partners, elected officials and national partners who came out and participated, provided a lot of valuable input for our audience. Next slide. Just pictures from our candlelight vigil. We invited our mayor out to speak, and Straight from the Streets is an organization that's been in our community, I think a year or two longer than Nevada Homeless Alliance. They've been doing this candlelight vigil. This is the 31st year. They were nice enough to allow Nevada Homeless Alliance to host it last year, and we're going to be hosting it again this year on behalf of Straight from the Streets. Next slide. And just like the Lived X slide, we recognize some of our community partners who passed while doing this great work last year. Next slide. So, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, one of my main things that I kind of focus on besides policy and advocacy is the intersection between incarceration and homelessness. I think a lot of us have heard these stats. We know that a lot of individuals are leaving incarceration and going back to homelessness, especially at a time now where, being homeless is being criminalized. And so a lot of people will say, no, there's just no camping on the streets. But who camps on the streets besides people experiencing homelessness? So homelessness is being criminalized. And so there are a few stats about, national research suggests that 15% of incarcerated people experience homelessness in the year before admission to prison. I think it's really important to dive deep into these facts as this board is responsible for a lot of things as it relates to ensuring that, on the local, state and national level, that we're working together to kind of make the lives easier and be for people experiencing homelessness, as well as come up with strategic plans to kind of at least put a dent in some of these things that are going on. And so I work with the Sentencing Commission in the 2023 session. And they were able to add into AB 31 that the prisons would start checking housing status at entry and exit, simple drop-down box. We don't know if people are going into prison from homelessness or exiting to homelessness if we're not collecting that data, because there is an intersection. But our state, we can't see what that is because the data is not being collected or shared. So we kind of fall for that, and in the process of following up to see, are we actually tracking that, or did we just pass it and not doing anything yet, right? And so a lot of formerly incarcerated people rely on shelters, both immediately after their release and over the long term. My years of working at the Salvation Army, I would see people show up every day in their all blues and their clear bags because they've been discharged from an institution straight back to the streets. And we can't do anything about recidivism when we're discharging people to the streets and not looking at social the things that people need socially. We're looking a lot at criminogenic factors instead of social factors. And there's some other stats about the people who've been incarcerated and the higher rates that they have. Next slide, please. So some of the buzz that I heard when I was working in this space and when I was getting my doctorate in public policy, this was my main topic, is that people didn't want to share where they were going when they expired their sentence. I feel like a lot of our reentry efforts are focused on people who are on probation or parole, and we have to realize that when people are expiring their sentence, they are reentering the community too, and they should be included in that. I would hear they're no longer DOC responsibility. There are laws in place that just say give them like gate money, $100, medications, drop them off if that's part of a release plan. And it's really sad that a release plan would include dropping you off with medications and a bus pass and gate money, and not access to resources. If we want to decrease recidivism at the NDOC prisons, we should be working closely with our partners in the community, because as people have some support in the community and a place to go and at least some access to resources, they may be less likely to reoffend. Next slide. So I looked up Nevada's reentry vision. In the second paragraph, it says success for an offender is defined as having stable housing. And so I think there is a gap there, because a lot of people are still discharged to homelessness. You guys, that's on the website. You can read that full statement if you like. Next slide, please. So there's a link between poverty and incarceration nationwide. There's no data specifically about recidivism in Nevada, or if there's data, it's not collected or shared or run against homeless service data as it relates to incarceration. People who are returning to a free life from prison, I like to call them returning citizens. They face the same challenges that lead to homelessness. They have some unique barriers, and there is a lack of ownership of the problem. I think in general, in a lot of communities, not just in our community, about recidivism and about people going from institution to homelessness. I think it should be a collaboration between the government agencies, the prisons, and the community organizations, and not just one individual entity's problem. Next slide. So communication and collaboration is the key, right? It's crucial that we and local leaders and state and nonprofit agencies understand the connection between homelessness and criminal justice to develop opportunities and communities to ensure everyone has a safe and stable housing. And we will continue to tirelessly do this work. Next slide, please. So suggestions. We need to, I know there's a few reentry task force, but it's more about Medicaid. I think we need something more in tune with actual people in that space, working with individuals on this side of the space in the housing and homelessness sector to work together on how to communicate appropriately, to make sure that we're reaching people who are incarcerated, to inform them about housing options. They need to be screened before they exit prisons, and make sure that they're provided with housing search, placement, and financial assistance while they're in prison, so that at exit, they can maybe catch an Uber or a bus to an apartment or a non-congregate shelter instead of to Salvation Army and Rescue Mission. And we thank God that those places are there to accept those individuals when they have nowhere else to go. But we have to do a little better. Next slide. Looking ahead. Okay. Started off happy, went to a little sad stuff. Now we're going to boost the energy back up. We will be launching our Nevada Homeless Alliance app this year. That will be a session at our 2025 conference that's coming up September 29th and 30th at the College of Southern Nevada, Charleston location. We have our ongoing pop-up events, again, 4 to 8 events per month. And we're going to be doing a monthly Family Connect event at our local libraries, community centers, and or Clark County School District locations. We're going to be continuing to do our employment connects, where we're linking individuals with employment opportunities as they are trying to resolve their housing crisis. We will be conducting medical connects, where we will be working with all of the medical trucks, the street medicine doctors in Q3 to ensure that we have quarterly medical connects that will go right out into the community and provide those on-the-spot resources for individuals. And we're going to be launching our monthly Youth Connect events in Q3 as well, because we're part of the community planning for our youth homelessness demonstration project, as well as we're funded for that grant that we got in our community. And so we want to make sure that we're not just focusing on one thing. We're focusing on youth, medical, employment, families, everything that could impact a person's housing stability. So now we are currently doing pet deposits and fees. We're finding that individuals who are getting housing opportunities are saying no to housing because some federal and state grants won't pay for pet deposits and pet rent. So we want to come in and fill that gap. We have some funding from Silver Summit, and we've launched our reentry program where we're assisting people who are exiting from institutions to the streets to put them up for a few months and link them to some workforce programs so they can get those resources and support that they need in order to obtain and maintain permanent housing. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we have our homeless service provider training, CUs are approved. And for the first time ever, Nevada Homeless Alliance, we have our new home. We've been co-located in the community with other partners since 1992, and 2025 marks the year that we literally got our own space with our own key, and we're just happy to still be deep in this work over 30 years later, providing impact for the clients we serve, as well as supporting our partners on the local, state, and national level. Next slide. Our conference is coming up in September. The YHDP Guided Home. We have a navigation program we're launching in October. Our project Homeless Connect is every 2 years. We're going to be at the World Market Center down in Las Vegas in November, and we're going to have our annual candlelight vigil in December 2025. Next slide. And that is my information, and that's all I have. I think I went over 15 minutes easily. Sorry, you guys.
No, we definitely appreciate it. And I think the time is well spent hearing all the great work that you guys are doing. So thank you. Does anybody have any questions for the Nevada Homeless Alliance?
I do. This is Judge Rob.
Go ahead.
Hi, are you aware of the prison reentry specialty court that's in Washoe County?
No, maybe we can link up and you can tell me more about that.
Yeah, contact me offline and we can talk a bit more about that, because we recognize the issue that you're talking about, and we actually have a specialty court where, you know, certain inmates, not everyone is eligible, but certain inmates can be part of that program.
So, yes. And so, do you mind shooting me an email? Is on the screen so I can have your information?
I will.
Thank you so much.
Judge Montero?
Yeah, I'm Judge Montero for the record. You might also want to check, because it's my recollection that there might be a reentry specialty court in Southern Nevada as well. And maybe Judge Rob can help us link you with that if there is.
That would be great.
Judge Montero, I'm not as well versed with what they have in the 8th, but I can certainly see if they've got something like that that is in process.
Perfect.
Awesome. And a lot of times the population of people reentering that we try to connect with the most, that are the most vulnerable, are people who are expiring their sentence, because often if you're getting put on parole, you have to have an approved housing plan and you have some supports around that. But often individuals who are expiring, who may have burnt the bridges with all their family, or maybe their family is not in state anymore and they're being discharged, right? That is that population that we want to have a safety net for, although we work with all other populations who are re-entering the community. So I will put my feelers out there to see if they have a re-entry specialty court down south. Thank you for mentioning that.
Awesome. Anything additional for the Nevada Homeless Alliance?
Thank you.
Thank you, and appreciate your continued leadership in this space. I think it's incredible to see really most of the the teams that we've had on our agenda today came from your recommendation. So thank you so much for continuing to make things happen and making sure the voices are heard from all the good work that's happening across the state.
Thank you.
Awesome. With that, we can move into agenda item number 10, the Interagency Advisory Council, Homelessness and Housing Technical Assistance Committee. Do we have Ms. Page on the line?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Chair Rob. Brooke Page for the record, and I'm here to just give just a reminder update about our presentation that we gave back in May, on May 22nd. We provided an overview of the strategic action plan that the Interagency Council Technical Assistance Work Group has been working on, and we developed, and we believe we shared with this body. And I can just share my screen really quick as a reminder. If you recall, this workbook that outlines the various different components of the action plan. We have just kind of a summary document that provides an overview of all of the various different strategic issues, from housing to services. We have homeless prevention, wraparound services, education and workforce development, coordination of primary behavioral health, coordination of data and resources, policies, and long-term planning are the 8 strategic issues. And there are multiple goals related to each of these strategic issues and proposed action items that the Technical Assistance Work Group had been working over multiple months to put together for you all. And we've elevated that for some direction on how you would like the Technical Assistance Committee to proceed with this work. We're hoping to receive some guidance so we can do what's necessary to address homelessness throughout the state. So
Awesome.
I'll just pause there to see if you have any questions or if anybody has any thoughts about that.
Awesome. Do members of the council have input from Ms. Page?
This is Dr. Katrina, for the record. So from my understanding, we are to kind of give guidance to the technical subcommittee on the work they're doing. And I think it sounds like they're kind of waiting for us to give the red light. So I'm encouraging all of the members here to review the strategic plans and the goals and the action items to ensure that we're okay with what they've done all this work to kind of figure out what works best for the community. They're a group of really smart individuals that's doing the work in leadership or in direct service. And there's some really good stuff in there. And I'm not sure as a council if we can actually vote it in or out if the individual members haven't reviewed it, to make sure there are no conflicts or anything that give anyone any heartburn about the actions and the goals and how they want to get to that. So that's just mine. It's just a prompt and a push to all of us to actually review it. And, you know, they've been on hold waiting for us to give them guidance and feedback on what's next. And we should be able to give that to them.
Awesome, and totally agree. And I think, I don't know that we have a DAG on the line, but I do believe that this is on the agenda for possible action. So if there is, you know, at the end of this discussion, a motion to approve the path forward that they're hoping to get from us, I think that that is more than okay. So is there any input for the team?
And if I could, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
So I was going to ask if Brooke had anything else that they needed from us. And then I'm sorry to cut you off, Brooke.
Oh, no, thank you, Dr. Katrina. Brooke for the record. So there was 4 kind of questions that we proposed in May. One of them was we wanted some guidance on the role that the Interagency Council wanted the Technical Assistance Committee to play moving forward. We've been tasked, I think through statute, to help develop the strategic plan. And we've gone and developed also the action plan to support the strategic plan. And so guidance on how you all would like us to move forward, if it's to continue to support the activities related to help ensuring that those action items move forward. We believe we've done what we believe we're supposed to do statutorily, but just want guidance on how we should move forward. Should we continue to serve in an advisory capacity? And I think that, as Dr. Katrina mentioned, we do have subject matter experts on the Technical Assistance Committee that could sort of advise you all on the work, things that we believe are important based off of feedback that we've received from the community throughout the state, and just areas that we think could help move the needle and move these action items forward. And then are we expected to support the process of managing the actual action plan? So it's a very robust workbook, as you all have seen. There's 8 different strategic issues, and they've got various different goals within that. Do you all foresee us, helping to update that action plan moving forward, providing feedback on ideas of ways that we could move the needle on those action items as a state? That's something that we're asking you all, if that's something you would like for us to do. And then how can we best align our efforts with the council's priorities and the timelines that you all have in place and the goals that you all have? How can we support you all so we could be an active partner and a partner to kind of support addressing issues and challenges? So those are kind of the questions that we had proposed, and just I'll open it up to see if y'all have any thoughts.
I appreciate the kind of realignment to where we need to head with this, and would love any input from members of the council. I'll jump in here with just kind of my thoughts, and I think the amount of work that you guys have put into this is pretty incredible, and I think that the direction that's being set through the strategic plan and all of the work that you guys have put on paper is truly informing us as a council and how we can help fill some of the gaps. I do know that we have kind of limited resources and limited availability of time and effort and things of that nature, but I do think that the continued information that you and the team are able to provide to us is super valuable, and I really appreciate the ability to have these conversations and see where some of the gaps are that are based on truly informed experiences and talking with our community partners and working with some of the agencies across the state that are doing work in this space and able to bring that to light to us is super valuable. I do think that the tracking is probably going to be a Herculean effort that I would hope isn't put squarely just on this advisory team, but I do think that it's a necessary thing so we can see what progress is being made over time. Where that work can sit, I'm not super sure, but I do think that it is super valuable to have that data over time of kind of what we've been able to check off the list of accomplishments and help inform some of the stuff that we need to be working towards in future legislative sessions with some of our local jurisdictions, some of our nonprofit partners, and even some of our for-profit partners that have been able to help fund things in the past as well, or even going forward with things like our Campus for Hope. So with that, I know I just said a lot of words and I'm not really sure that they meant a whole lot, but I do hope that we're able to find a way to elevate the work that Ms. Page and the team are doing, and open for any additional input there.
This is Judge Rob. Chair Rob, you're talking about tracking, and we need to have the data, but do we have a vehicle to collect the data? I think having that kind of vehicle would be the very first thing that we'd need to develop if it's not already done. And I apologize, I am brand new to this group, and so if this has been done and I'm saying something please let me know.
Senator Neal, do you have some input on that?
Well, I guess I was wondering if, and I'm sorry, if this, the county passed their ordinance, if the counties have any data that they're collecting even some of the other groups. I thought there was some form of data collected, even if it's not centralized.
Yeah, and I think that there's some that's associated with some of our federal funding mechanisms and some that's with our state funding mechanisms as well. I don't know that there's a central repository necessarily, and maybe Mr. Thompson might have some ideas on where that is, or if there are resources available. I do think that it would probably take staff to be the folks that are combining all of those sources into one place, and maybe informing kind of the direction we're being able to see within the strategic plan, and see what those things are that are getting checked off the list on some of the gaps that we're filling. But yeah, I'm not sure if there is a central place that happens right now.
Robert Thompson, for the record, there was a central place where the county was attempting to track homeless data. I do not remember the name of it. I'm going to have to follow up with my IT deputy and see if anybody in my agency is aware of that being out there. There was always difficulty with my division being able to interface with it because of our federal requirements of keeping the SNAP, Medicaid, and TANF specific client data locked down, and we were not able to go back and forth. But I remember being at a meeting several years ago where they had these same discussions, and I'm going to have to go back through emails and talk to some people to see if I can find it.
I appreciate that, and I think, go ahead.
So this is Dr. Katrina. So the role of the technical assistance subcommittee, right there. So the strategic plan was a goal of this council, correct? And then the technical subcommittee spearheaded that, right? So is it then our responsibility to kind of determine how we're going to get the information? Because it says, from what I remember reading, that we're responsible for collaborating with state and local agencies to promote the cooperation. So the county probably has county data, another entity has other data, another entity has other data, NDOC has their data, right? When we're looking at all these different strategic goals and all the things they have, like the data probably won't come from one source. So I'm still kind of new too, so I want to like at least help us to figure out where should we be getting these different pools of data, because this is a statewide plan, strategic plan, and it's not just a county, right? And so we have to look at multiple different data sets and the tracking and all that stuff. So, I would like to, again, know what is the role of the technical assistance committee? Like she said, do we want them to serve as an advisor on this? Are they expected to support the plan, or are they just going to do the plan and we were going to spearhead this plan? So it would be great just to get just a little more clarity on like where we go from here, right? Do we need to develop the vehicle to track the data? Is that different entities, different people who has access to different data, bringing it to the table so we can put it where it goes? And just what does that look like for us as a council? I didn't have an answer. That's just like a really long question.
To me, Senator Neal.
Thank you for recognizing me for another time. So maybe what the possibility is since we're moving into agenda item 11, is to make the September meeting, putting some of those agencies that we believe are collecting that data into the agenda so that we can know who has what. And then if the technical assistance committee, Brooke is on, and it's also agendized, then at least there is a way to hear and condense those presentations and say, listen, we believe you have it. We want you to present what you have so we know what's there, right? I mean, because we know that as committees change, people change, information gets lost. And if we generally know that there are agencies that are collecting, so why not just put them on the agenda for September, and not all of them, but at least 5 of them, and have a discussion on what they are collecting, county being first, and specifically any other group that we know, because the county, any Washoe, Clark, NDOC, if they have it, and then just put them on the agenda and let's see where we're at. And if they come back to us and they say, oh, we're not collecting it, then that's another discussion, probably not for us, but for some other people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great idea, and happy to work towards that for the next agenda for our September 18th meeting. I definitely think it would be good to get this in front of some of those partners that are engaging and helping fill some of these gaps that I think are identified in our plan that's being put forward by Ms. Page and the team. So definitely something I think we can work towards, and maybe on a longer term, maybe we look at an NC institution taking leadership and bringing all that information together and kind of resourcing the collection of that data and then analysis of that data so that we can truly be working towards something great. So Dr. Katrina, go ahead.
Just a question for Brooke. So who has seen or has access to the strategic plan? Is it just the technical subcommittee and this group, or has anyone else in the community seen this or had access to it to see if they would be a viable partner in helping to get data?
Thank you, Dr. Katrina, for the question. And sorry, I'm off camera. I had to switch devices. But to answer your question, right now, we, as the Technical Assistance Committee, developed the workbook. We elevated it to you all for review and sort of approval to kind of go forth and start, identifying who's collecting this information. And so it has not gone external to our two bodies, to answer your question. And I think what we really think could be an important scenario is for the technical assistance work group to help identify, because we also have representation of the local continuums of care. We would love to get feedback from the school districts and different folks that are impacted by this action plan, to where we could sort of identify and strategize how to collect the information and elevate it to you all to report out on the outcomes. So that way the work doesn't necessarily have to live with the council, but that, some of that work can be done at the technical assistance level. So that way we could sort of be gathering it, tracking it, and then reporting to you all on the status. So that was something that was proposed and we thought could be helpful, because we recognize you all will have limited capacity. And a lot of the folks that are at the technical assistance level are in the trenches doing the work, have access to data and information that could sort of be tracking it over time. So that was just an idea and something to consider.
Sorry, I had a hard time getting off from you, but yes, I think that's totally appropriate. And having seen this in our public forum in this space, I think it's more than appropriate to share with any partners and get that feedback, get the input, get the, understanding of what data is out there, what services are being provided. I think that getting that holistic view is really what would help inform anything going forward from this group as well. So yeah, I don't think that there's any hesitation on my end, and I don't think any other members of the council would have any concerns with getting what you guys have put together out there to the world and see what thoughts other people have in the space as well. And if we need to take action to approve that to go forward, I think, I would also entertain that as well.
That's good.
Okay, anything additional on this item? Let's see anybody else raise their, go ahead.
Are we going to take a vote or whatever we need to do to approve for it to be shared externally and for ourselves and the technical assistance committee to start seeking out partners that can help?
Yeah, in the absence of of legal counsel on the call. I don't know what we would need to do on the disbursement piece. I think that the Attorney General's office is working through some org chart changes, so we don't have somebody on here today. But I mean, with that said, I don't know that we would necessarily need to take action for approval to continue the work and continue sharing it with partners, because we have already had the discussion. And I think that it was included in kind of the board materials that were posted online as well for the last meeting. So I think it is out there in the wild. And if it is a matter of, communicating it out to partners, I think that I would be more than comfortable with allowing that to happen with or without action by the council, unless anybody else has concerns with that.
Chair Rob, for the record, can I ask a follow-up question?
Absolutely.
Would you all be okay with us continuing to, identify activities that are happening related to the action items and goals that we've identified, and just keep you all updated on those activities moving forward? Would that be appropriate, or how would you like for the Technical Assistance Committee to continue moving forward?
I would appreciate that, definitely. And if we can help in being a conduit to that as well, I'm happy to do that.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Okay, so seeing no others, I think we're good to move into agenda item number 11, discussion of agenda items for the next meeting, September 18th, 2025. I think to Senator Neal's point, having a discussion with some of the partners that are probably collecting this information already would be super helpful. So we'll work with the advisory team and the staff to get that agenda together. Are there any additional pieces that anybody would think would be important in that conversation in September? Hearing and seeing none, I think that would probably, go ahead, Director Devine.
I think one of the things that would be helpful, I mean, there's been some great information put out at every one of the meetings, but we don't always get the PowerPoint presentations as a follow-up or as an attachment. If we could somehow kind of work that out, maybe we get them posted in the chat. Well, I guess we can't post them in the chat, but the amount of information and the resources that are provided to us in each of these meetings it's amazing and a little bit overwhelming, but it's also information that I would love to be able to share and refer back to frequently. So if we could somehow get that information pulled together so that we could use it for other briefings and, just share the information, that'd really be helpful.
Absolutely. I think that's totally doable, and we'll probably work with Abigail and the team to get those things out. I'm not sure if they're typically posted online, but that might also be an avenue, so then we can share those links with partners as well as we have those conversations with other folks. I think that would be great. Any additional pieces for the upcoming agenda? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will move into agenda item number 12, general public comment. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this item until it is specifically included on the agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. If you're making public comment via phone, please call 1-775-321-6111, meeting ID 525-220-583, followed by pound. We are now open for public comment. Does anybody on the line wish to make public comment? Not seeing anybody come off of mute. I'll just make a quick note. I appreciate all of the folks that are on the line and the work that you guys are doing every day. I think that it's really important. I sound like a broken record thanking everybody, but I do think it's important that we have these conversations and we keep moving the ball forward. So appreciate all that everybody is doing, and the lived experience communications that we've had on this meeting have been incredible as well. I think that is a vital piece of the conversation that we need to keep up. Looks like the person with the phone number ending in 59 came off the mute. Do you wish to make public comment?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me? I've been trying to speak for a minute.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name is Dr. Annie Wilson. I work with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I'm the homeless liaison. I just wanted to say a couple of things really, really quick. I don't know about the other prisons and jails, but at Clark County Detention Center Jail, we do have a discharge plan there. The goal is for no one to be released to the streets or no one to be released to homelessness. We partner with Clark County Social Services. They're there 24 hours at Clark County Detention Center Jail. The goal is to make sure these individuals are housed, have the right documents. You know, we have Nevada ID there, make sure they have their ID. And we have a number of services there. I just wanted to bring that up. So I know I only have 3 minutes, so I just wanted to make sure everyone is aware that we do have services at Clark County Detention Center Jail, so no one is released into homelessness.
Fantastic. And I think with that, we can definitely consider putting that on an upcoming agenda. If there's a more robust conversation, it might be good on the release plans that you guys have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. William, do you have public comment?
Yes, I do. Bill McCauley for the record. I just wanted to say I would like to hear about and/or see some conversation about these efforts engaging with higher education in the state in particular. There are a lot of young people on our college and university campuses who are eager to jump right into trying to make the world a better place. And, you know, we have all kinds of opportunities for internships, for externships, for, work study, all different kinds of venues for that. And it really feels like an untapped resource. These institutions have a big presence in our state and a big role to play. And, as our higher education system become more and more oriented towards, practical lived experience once you graduate. I'm an English major, so I could have used that when I was an undergrad. That I think if the housing and homelessness sector could be more deliberate about or more overt about their connections and collaborations and interactions with higher education in particular, I think that would be really, really productive, and I'd love to see it. And I'm happy to help make that happen if I can. Thank you.
Awesome. I really appreciate it. And I think that also could be a future agenda item on how we can engage with our higher education partners on a future agenda as well. Thank you so much. Any additional public comment? Seeing anybody else come off of mute, I think we are good to move into agenda item number 13, adjournment. It is 2:53 and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for your time. Oh, do you have additional public comment?
Yes, I'm a Las Vegas Metro Police Department intern, and we're having our unhoused combat meeting Tuesday, August 26th at Metro headquarters at 10 a.m. and they will be addressing the encampment ordinance at that time. So if anyone's available to come, that would be amazing. We would appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the information. And if folks are able to join, we encourage them to do so. With that, I think we'll move to official adjournment now at 2:54. Thank you all.